Alright, let us continue with the short questions and the long question. Now the first short question on scarcity, alright, it says, because a new source of energy is discovered, more goods can be produced and the problem of scarcity can be solved. Do you agree with this statement? Now remember, I think most of you know the answer already, but in answering questions, you need to state the stance very clearly. 你個立場啊，寫出嚟啊。So, write clearly you disagree with the statement. Alright, 寫清楚啊，唔好唔寫啊，唔寫會冇咗個分㗎。Now the main point here, you have to point out, scarcity refers to the situation when the resources available are not enough to satisfy all wants. Alright, you need to state it out. So, even with more resources and more goods, it is possible that those resources may still not be enough to satisfy all human wants. Therefore, scarcity may not be solved even with new source of energy. Alright? I think most of you know the answer, but only some technical errors. Alright? For example, you forget to write your stance. 唔記得咗寫立場啦。Or some of you use words like this: limited resources, unlimited wants. Now remember, I keep telling you, avoid using words like limited or unlimited. You should use words like this: enough or not enough. That is more accurate, alright? So let's move on to the question 2. Now question 2, I think this one is the most difficult out of all the questions because most of you didn't even get any marks at all. Alright, so let's look at it. What it's basically saying is that Mary can go to the Science Museum on 2 separate dates. On Wednesday, she doesn't need to pay any admission fee, but then she needs to wait an hour in order to get into the museum. And using that hour, instead of waiting, she could have used it to teach piano and earn $200, alright, $200. Now, there are several points that I think your class not doing so well. First of all, many of you mix up the idea of money cost and time cost. So many of you tell me that this $200 is the money cost. No, alright? Back in my MC video, I've already explained. Money cost refer to cost that you actually have to pay out. Those money 真係要俾出嚟嘅錢啦。Where time cost, we are talking about values that you have to give up, that you cannot get. Benefit you cannot get because you use the time to do something else, alright? In this example, because you go to teach piano, you cannot get the income of 200, 令到你收唔到呢200蚊啊。So in this sense, this $200 is actually the time cost, alright, not money cost, alright. Now, second thing, most of you missed this sentence, alright. Remember, the time you spend in the museum also part of the cost. It is a time cost, alright. 你去咗個博物館，咪搞到你嗰段時間冇得做其他嘢咯。例如啦 ，maybe you can't go to the economics tutorial, something like that. You miss out the value that you could have earned by doing other things, alternative uses, alright? So, many of you miss that, alright? Don't miss that. The full cost should be like this. Wednesday, 0 money cost, but you need time to spend in the museum and $200 as a time cost, alright? On Friday, you need to spend $25 as the money cost. Also, you need to spend time in museum. It's stated in the question that these two the time spent on both days will be the same. Therefore, you do the maths. The cost should be lower on Friday because Friday 25 plus the time, but Wednesday 200 plus that time. Now some of you, for whatever reason, you tell me, oh, on Friday she only paid $25 and then she can go teach piano and gain $200. No, the question didn't say she can go to teach piano on Friday. It only says she can go to teach piano on Wednesday. Okay? So, don't make things up. 唔好自己喺度作嘢啊，得唔得？ Now, this one, put a star there. You see, already put a star there. Revise this question. I think it's quite important. Alright? Let's move on. Now, this one, relatively easy. Most of you can get it correct. Part A, it says that the couple go to Korean. Now, they find that the food in Korean much better than expected. Now, as all of you know, food there in Korea is good. It only affects the benefits. It only increases the benefits of going to Korean, but it doesn't affect the things that you have give up. For example, in Hong Kong, it doesn't affect. Alright, so part A, no change in any cost. Alright, part B, increase in transportation cost. We have to think about one thing. Now, if you don't go on that trip, do you need to pay those transportation costs? Of course not. So, those transportation costs are things that you need to give up because you have chosen to go to Korean. As you see, I've typed here. With an increase in transportation costs, the money cost of going to Korean will increase because these costs are money that you actually have to pay out, not give up some income, but actually pay it out. So we say money cost increase. Now, part C is actually quite easy. Whenever you see the word delayed, alright, 逢親見到 delay 唔使問啦。Delay means you need to use more time, alright? Whenever you need to use more time, you are giving up more alternative use of time. Therefore, time cost must increase. 嚟多次啊，記住，逢親要用多啲時間，就肯定會令你個 time cost 係高咗㗎，得唔得？因為你一定係放棄多咗嘢啊，得唔得？呢個唔使諗㗎啦 ，delay 我哋應該好快有一條。Later on, very soon, we see another question also about delay, the same answer. Alright, let's move on. Now, question 4. This question very easy for most of you. Now, part A, it says that in barter economy, without money, interest doesn't exist. All of you know, most of you know, interest can exist in any form. For example, in goods, not just money. So this one I don't explain. So easy. Now, for part B, most of you know the answer is yes. Remember to stay yes, alright, because it's the 立場分, the stance, alright. But then, many of you, very bad answering technique. The question asked, can the magazine be regarded as interest to both Joanne and Benny? So in answering this question, you need to deal with both of them, not just one of them. And you have to be specific. You state clearly, for Joanne, that magazine is a compensation for delaying consumption of the DVD. And also state that for Benny, it is the cost of earlier consumption of DVD. Don't just write one, alright? Many of you only write one. I only give little marks for you. Some of you didn't even tell me for Joanne, for Benny, only write the definition. For example, you say that, well, interest is the compensation for delayed consumption, while it is also the cause of early consumption. No, I will deduct a lot of marks, alright, because not specific enough, not answering to the question. Alright, so learn the technique. Question 5, alright, is asking whether those booklets provided by Hong Kong government are free goods or not. Obviously, the answer is no, okay? There are many ways you can say why it is no. First way, you can say that people may still prefer more of the booklet, or you say those booklets not enough to satisfy all wants, alright? This is one way. Another way, you can say that there are production costs involved in the production of these booklets. Whenever there are production costs, we know that that must be economic good, as I've explained in my MC explanation video already. The third way, you can also, you say that in order to obtain those booklets, there are costs involved. For example, you need time, you need to spend money, or some of you say transportation costs, you need time, you need money in order to go there to get those booklets, alright? Whenever the cost of obtaining is greater than 0, that is automatically not a free good, alright? So, you either write 1 is okay, no need to write 3. Any one of them will do, alright? Not too difficult. Now this question, most of you also know the answer, but the answering technique is so bad, alright? Especially A part. Now it says that some investor, they choose between two things. Either they invest in shares or invest in property. Now, part A asks you to explain with an example when the cost of choosing to invest in shares would increase. Now, first of all, we know that the cost of investing in share is the value of investing in property. But for whatever reason, many of you tell me something. Many of you write, when the price of property rises. No, this is not specific enough. In fact, depending on your angle, this sentence can be wrong, alright? Let me explain. Let's say, now you spend this amount. Let's say, this amount can buy you either 1 share or 1 building, alright? 1 share or 1 building， 一係買到一張股票，一係買到一層樓，得唔得？ Now, when the price of property rises, or some of you say lower, alright, some of you say lower. Here, let's say building becomes this, alright, becomes this. So, suddenly, when you spend $100, when you spend $100 to buy 1 share, alright, now it becomes like this. 1 share equals to 0.5 building. You see, you are actually giving up less, alright? So your opportunity cost will actually be less. If we are counting with the value, we are talking about how many buildings you can get, how many property you can get, alright? So this one, not exactly correct, alright? The real way of saying that, it should be when the returns from property increases, alright? 係個回報上升咗啊嘛，回報上升咗，咁係咪你而家唔去投資喺樓度，係咪戇居咗啊？ It is only when the returns from property increase that the cost of investing in shares would increase, not the price, as I've demonstrated here already. When the price increases, in fact, you give up less buildings, alright? Be very careful. Now, some of you also give me answers like this. You say, when the interest rates of deposit increases. Now, this time I give you marks because the way of thinking is like this. 你唔投資股票咪擺落銀行收息咯。You don't invest in share. You put it in banks and earn the interest rate. Okay, this time I give you marks. But please refer to the question setting. The question states very clearly already. They choose between shares and property. Pretty much already closed the first option here. No interest, no deposit, alright? So this time, I let it slide. I give marks to you. Next time, remember to refer to the setting of the question, alright? Be really careful. Now, part B. Remember, dividend, 股息. I've talked about it in class. It is the cash reward for holding shares. In that sense, dividend is only the benefit of holding shares, not opportunity cost. It has nothing to do with the returns from investing in property. Alright? So opportunity cost actually not affected. Okay, so this question, remember, be very careful with your wordings. Not price, but returns. Also, try to stick with the question setting. Don't make things up. 唔好自己喺度作嘢啊！睇清楚題目嘅 setting 啊，得唔得啊？ Alright, if no question, we move on. Come on, question 7. I don't need to explain. Think of Miss Ma and you know the answer, alright? Now, some of you, a word of reminder. Some of you, when you answer this question, you only give me the definition that free goods refers to the goods where the quantity available is enough to satisfy all wants, alright? If you only give me the definition, not good enough, because you have not told me, you have not counted how free of charge is not free good, alright? You need to tell me goods, some goods, although free of charge, there may be cost in obtaining, or some goods, although free of charge, people may still prefer more of it, alright? Answer the question. 你要答題目㗎，唔好就咁寫個 definition 俾我，你都冇答到條題目，你都冇話我知 free of charge 點解唔係 free good 啊？得唔得啊？答題技巧啊 ！Not just economics, in all subjects, especially liberal study. Okay, so learn the trick. Final 2 questions. We move on to long question. Now, for question 1A, many of you recite highest value option for call. No, remember, opportunity cost refer to the value of the highest valued option for call. 我哋唔係淨係講緊放棄咗嗰個 option 啊，係放棄咗嗰個 option 嘅 value 啊嘛，得唔得？唔好留呢啲 keyword 啊。I will deduct 1 mark if you didn't write this, alright? Now, part B, suppose they have to be stranded for 24 hours. Remember, previous question, we say that whenever you see the word delay, something like that, right? It means you need to spend more time. When you need to spend more time, it must mean your time cost will increase, alright? 出去三幅被㗎啦。總之時間長咗就係 time cost 長咗，就係咁簡單，得唔得？ Okay, so we move on to C. I think many of you actually doesn't even understand what part C is asking. Part C is asking, now, part B you tell me, this 24 hours delay will increase the time cost, right? Now, part C is asking whether this answer in part B depends on the fact that they can either stay in a free hotel or stay in airport during that 24 hours of delay. Now, remember, whether staying in the hotel or staying in the airport, it only affects the use of that 24 hours. In other words, it only affects the benefit of that 24 hours, but it does not affect the things that you have to give up in that 24 hours. For example, in that 24 hours, if you are back in Hong Kong, you may be able to study more economics, alright? So whether you are staying in hotel or whether you're staying in airport, you still cannot study economics, alright? So the time cost, whether in hotel or in airport, they are exactly the same because you are still giving up the same thing. Now, a word of caution. Some of you say that, well, it's the same because it's still 24 hours. Remember, you missed the point. Because sometimes, if I tell you that 24 hours have different users, alright? Even it's the same 24 hours, the value may be different, alright? The value can be different. 唔係講緊24小時不變啊嘛，係講緊24小時裏面你嘅 alternative user 放棄咗嘅嘢冇改變啊嘛。Okay? So don't miss the point. Part D I don't explain. You see I write in here, Miss Ma, revise it yourself. I don't explain, alright? Finally, the last question. Here, there is a keyword. Many of you miss it. Mr. Lee owns the property. When he owns the shop, it means that he does not need to pay the rent of this amount. 間鋪頭係佢嘅大佬，佢唔使俾個租㗎，得唔得啊？ Be really careful when you look at the question, okay? Now it's asking whether the following situation will change the opportunity cost of using the property as a bookshop. So we look at it one by one. First, Mr. Lee extends the opening hours to 24 hours. Now, think about it. Longer operating hours. In general, it means that you need to pay more wages or electricity fees, those kind of things. So actually, your cost would increase. More specifically, your monetary cost will increase, alright? Monetary cost. As you see from this sentence here, I say the cost of running the shop, 2 parts, remember full cost. There are monetary costs, which you need to pay out wages, electricity fee, etc. Plus, by using the shop, you cannot rents out the shop to the others. So you are giving up the time to rent out the shop. The market rent would then be the time cost or non-monetary cost of running the shop. Alright? Now, you see here, I also say some of you states clearly in part 1, A1 that, well, I assume even with extended hour here, I assume that wages and those fees would not increase. Oh, sorry, this should be remain unchanged. They assume that wages and those fees remain unchanged, and they also assume that, hey, Mr. Chen, it doesn't make sense that I use the shop in the morning and then I rent it out at night only, partially, right? 唔 make sense 㗎嘛，冇理由我淨係租夜晚租出去俾人㗎嘛。If you write these two assumptions and tell me there is no change in cost, okay, I will give you mark, but only because you tell me your assumptions very clearly. If you don't tell me those assumptions, no marks, alright? This is part 1. Now part 2. The market rent of property increases. As you see in the above sentence, I told you, by using the time to run the shop, you lose the time to rent it out. So the market rent is a time cost. With an increase in market rent, you know that time cost will increase. Alright? If you write money cost increases, I deduct 1 mark from you. Remember, it is time cost, things that you need to give up, not actually pay out. Alright? So part 3, quite easy here. The wages of the staff increases. So money cost increases. I don't explain. Now part B, asking whether the free books are economic goods or free goods. I don't explain. Again, I write Miss Ma here. You should know the meaning already. Last part, part C, asking you 2 sentences, whether they are positive or normative statement. First sentence, running the shop 24 hours raises the production cost. You see in this sentence, no, I repeat, no value judgment is involved. And or you can say it is refutable by fact. Why I say that? You actually look up whether the production cost increases or not, and then you can check whether this is true or not. Alright? So first one, positive. Next one, normative statement. Because it's involved value judgment. You see, Mr. Lee should. You can stop here already. Should. This is value judgment. So it is not refutable by fact. Alright? So all in all, I think the long question and short question, not difficult. Now, I have some advice for you guys. Sorry. Now, as I see, many of you did very bad in your MC, alright? So my advice is, try to contrast the correct and wrong concepts. It seems to me that you guys, when asking the correct concepts alone in isolation, you guys can answer that. But when I try to mix it up with wrong concepts, you guys very easy to fall into the traps. 即係話我淨係俾要你講啱嗰個呢，你哋就 OK 嘅。但係呢，當我撈埋錯嗰啲呢，你就好易俾人 trick 到啦。所以嗱，我嘅 advice 係啦 ，very simple. You have to know what is the right concept, and you need to remind yourself what concepts are wrong. Don't just study the correct concepts, but you also need to know the wrong concepts and be able to explain why those concepts are wrong. Okay? So this is pretty much what I have to say about your homework. Again, if you have any questions, you are free feel free to WhatsApp me, alright, before the test. I always welcome your question, alright? Don't be shy. Any question, just tell me, alright? If no question, I wish you good luck with your test. I see you later.